كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله.
We have been in the war, we have fought the war, we have seen very serious situation. At the end of the day, once you are facing the enemy and the matter is of life and death for you, the only connection which is in your mind is your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have experienced it on the ground.
Gallantry, valor, courage, guts, belief.
And they realized that should they pitch these forces in our water, they would actually meet their fate, which is at the bottom of the sea.
The creed of the Pakistan Armed Forces is not just a motto.
Pakistan ka hami.
It is our living oath, a reminder of what we are.
This oath is actually the fundamental foundation for any soldier, and this is primarily this reflects his contract with the state.
It is our collective call to arms. It rests on the unshakable bedrock of faith in Allah. It is bolstered and strengthened by our trust in the divine.
The very foundation of this country, Pakistan, is also based on La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So whatever he is doing for the state, the contract which is signed with the state, in fact it is directly contract with the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And it is expressed by our willingness to give up all for our nation. This is our lifeblood. It flows in the veins of every soldier who guards this sacred soil.
दस करोड़ पाकिस्तानियों के इम्तिहान का वक्त आ पहुंचा है.
When President Ayub declared that the enemy does not know who they have actually challenged, it was the voice of the nation. It came from the heart. And entire nation was ready to go into the battle and do whatever they can.
In September 1965, when India's tanks rolled towards Lahore, when its jets thundered in the skies above, and when its ships thought they could take liberties with our territorial waters, the whole world thought Pakistan would fall. But instead, they saw a nation rise. Rise with unshakable faith and courage and valor.
65 was also again reflection of the true defense of Pakistan. 65 was the true reflection of the true defense of Pakistan. 65 war was a demonstration of the potential of Pakistan, and again the biggest reflection and representation of the unbounded resolve of the Pakistani nation.
Believe you me that Pakistan was one nation, one soul at the time of 1965 war.
65 war was the time when we truly wrote our legacy. The value system, Rafiqi, Alam, Sajjad Haider, Noor Khan, Asghar Khan. So the value system they defined in terms of valor, gallantry, and the spirit for Pakistan carries on till today.
If you look at the two navies and the numbers, the presence of an Indian aircraft carrier and larger number of vessels gave a clear edge on the paper to the Indian Navy.
Our armed forces, though they were outnumbered and outgunned, stood resolute.
Every soldier of Pakistan, whether he of that era or the present era, it's his great wish that Allah may subhanahu wa ta'ala may provide an opportunity to fight this enemy, the enemy of Islam and the enemy of Pakistan, that is India. So the soldiers, they really take this opportunity as a prized moment in their life.
Coordinator Dilawar, who was the flight commander of number 14 squadron, He's walking to the aircraft, air defense alert hut, and this rookie flying officer, he says, sir, we will be outnumbered, there will be many aeroplanes. So he takes a puff and he says, Mundia, fair ki hoya, chal chaliye. And they gave great fight.
But the conduct of the war was such that Indian Navy failed to venture out and even face Pakistan Navy.
On 6th of September, the Indians come and attack Lahore. And the moment we find out, now Sajjad Haider Saab from 19th Squadron Peshawar had gone for a close support mission to Cham Jodiya again. And he's given a call by Sakese radar that so-and-so leader proceed to Batapur. He says, where is Batapur? They say, go to Lahore, follow the road to Amritsar. And he goes and he finds the Indian Armored Division proceeding towards Lahore. And rest is history. General Harbaksh Singh, he says, the attack by Sajjad Haider formation was so crucial that Major General Naranjan Prasad, he left his jeep and was hiding on a sugar cane.
And the deterrence that was created by Ghazi actually prevented the entire Indian naval fleet from even coming out in the battle.
Next morning was the red letter day for Pakistan Air Force. Alam Saab got scrambled with a flying officer, and he was my namesake Masood Akhtar, and he shot 5 aeroplanes in 30 seconds. And he became an ace of the world, acknowledged ace of the world.
It was a flotilla of 7 ships led by our flagship PNS Babar, and these ships were sent out with a target to attack a radar station in Dwarka. The enemy had refused to come and face the challenge, and we wanted to draw out the enemy ships into the battlefield. There was an air station there and some HFDF facilities which were being used to launch air raids against Pakistan and Karachi specifically. So it was decided that we would target that air station and take out the radar station at Dwarka. This 7-ship flotilla, it went very close to the Indian shores, literally into their coastal waters, and used their main guns, the main armament we call them, for striking the target, and took it out completely.
Pakistani soldiers, in spite of the meager resources and in spite of the cunning and surprised attack by India, they were able to defeat them. They were able to draw a lot of glory and pride from that war, and they were able to showcase to the whole world that this Indian are not capable of defeating Pakistan. So it was a great manifestation of the capacity, capability, and most importantly the will of the nation, which was demonstrated to counter India.
Lahore was saved. Pakistan's honor lifted higher than the skies that our enemy tried to dominate foolishly. That day proved a truth that endures.
This was not just a war of the armed forces, this was a war of the entire Pakistani nation coming together as a single force.
Wars are won not by numbers. They are won by an indomitable spirit. They are won by courage, through sacrifice as an article of faith. And this spirit wasn't restricted to that day 60 years ago. We saw it returned and rejuvenated in Operation Bunyan-e-Marsoos.
India have launched Operation Sindoor against Pakistan. Multiple strikes we've been given to understand have taken place.
When India's foolhardiness prompted it once again to test our sovereignty, Pakistan's response was breathtaking.
As to what happened, same thing. Heavily outnumbered, 70 plus versus 30, but we again wrote history.
In first defensive maneuver, in first 20 to 30 minutes, you made such a huge military irrelevant. Their air force was down for 2 days.
It was measured and calculated, precise. It was overwhelming.
So when on 6th and 7th, when this skirmish took place, the air staff saw a small build-up taking place somewhere close to 11 o'clock. Around 12 o'clock, there were 70 aeroplanes in the east, plus and 30 on our side. Once again, they had brought the TSR matrix in their favor: time, space, relative strength. Air Chief Marshal Sidhu said, defensive counter-air till such time that there is a declared war. And declared war is when an aeroplane or a missile or a projectile flies across our borders. So around 12 till 12:30, he remained defensive counter-air. We didn't want to open a war. So that is the time the first projectile flew towards Bahawalpur. That is the first time when Sidhu said, go full offensive counter-air, meaning thereby, had he decided once the 70 versus 30 plus minus had amassed, had he said go offensive, they may not have been able to launch even their air-to-surface weapons. And then there was a BVR, beyond visual range missile war, that went on for an hour plus minus. That's a record. This is going to be studied as a case study for decades, I think, and already has been.
Pakistan claims it has shot down 5 Indian fighter jets.
Well, there's growing evidence that India lost prized fighter jets during strikes on Pakistani-controlled territory.
These are the French-made fighter jets. Pakistan should take pride in the fact that they were able to shoot them down.
I said, that's not good. That's a lot of jets, you know. $150 million planes were shot down.
Alhamdulillah, we have the will, capacity and capability to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. And we are all well aware of the ways and means to do it.
Now you just wait for our response.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today on 10th May, at the time of Fajr, we have given a strong punch to our coward enemy.
Pakistan says the country has launched a retaliatory military operation against India.
We have seen this pattern of strikes in the morning, then retaliatory strikes at night. It is hard to imagine from this moment where I stand that New Delhi won't want to respond.
घबराहट एक तो लोगों की नजर आ रही है क्योंकि तमाम एयरबेस ध्वस्त होते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, आग के गोले में बदले हुए नजर आ रहे हैं.
India, according to Pakistan, reached out to Secretary Rubio, reached out to the Saudis, reached out to the Turks, reached out to others to find a diplomatic off-ramp, got engaged after that onslaught in diplomacy.
Within about 5 hours, it was done. It was done. Now, maybe it starts again. I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll stop it.
Unity held the line. Sacrifice gave it strength. And Pakistan's defense stood unshaken, proving to be the iron wall that no enemy could breach, let alone break. Today, the battlefield is a changed place. India no longer populates it with tanks and planes. It infuses terrorism, fans and stokes extremism. It employs every stratagem of fifth-generation warfare. Its assault is no longer mere bombs and bullets, but is perpetuated by propaganda, lies, and digital traps.
These Hindutva mindsets, saffronized mindset has already, people like Doval, like Amit Shah. So they very pronouncedly, they speak about this approach. Their approach is to bleed Pakistan through proxies and to achieve their political objectives, and political objectives of not of India, but of RSS, which is Hindutva.
Funding are denied to the terrorists by countering it with the funds.